And good evening. My name is Alan Cook, and you're staring at the two paintings. The upper is the Mona Lisa's lips turned sideways, and I will reduce it down later in the YouTube to tell you. And this is the Dion lips. I have set these up so you can see that there's an identical type of images in which are in between both of them, which the world has been talking about. The one on the bottom, the Dion, is so happens to be a duet, and the Mona Lisa is, a single portrait. Hope I didn't throw it off there. It was a lot of work. Okay, what I'm going to show you is you're going to see this particular image right here. Looks like a lady with another baby laying on top, and other images which builds like a long body. And when you lay this on up here, it matches 100%, as you can see in this area right here with the image in the Mona. I'm going to hold it, I'll pull it down. As you can see, you see this image right there running down. Here we go. You can barely see this part, but you can see the main head, and when you pull it back up, there it is, 100%. Now, when you actually take a look, you will see that when you set this and you lay it in here, you'll see this image in here, but it actually flows around like a face. See, if you can see there's a face here with an eye and an eye. It's going to be very, very difficult to see, but here's the face and the eye and eye, and I'm going to hold it. You pull it on down, there's an eye and an eye, and it has a very light look to it. For the reason is, well, it's because the image in the Mona is very weak compared to mine, and mine is only a 100 megapixel shot. It needs to be shot with a minimum of 250 digital laser camera, and it also needs a full stitching of an x-ray to be done. But you know, those are additional works, and then Mona's been around for 565 years easy, and a lot of work to be done. Okay, and I'm already on track of knowing how to track it down. All I need is the equipment. You see how that rolls exactly right through here? See that roll? Okay, watch. Now I put this up, I match up the girl or the guy, and you pull this back down. You can see the roll slightly in this area here. You can also see another bigger roll. You can also see this big nose, like I told you. When you pull this up and you get it set in here, you're going to see that the scar, now we're going to pull this down, the scar runs right through here. You're only going to see this one little dot that lights up. Watch, here's the dot. There's the person gets lined up. Okay, now we're going to pull that down just slightly. This is the dot. A gray faced guy lines up right over the top. Okay, now when you end up with these pictures throughout in here, you can see the line of the darkness. Watch. You pull this back up, you line up the sideways laying individual, and you can see the outline of these faces. See? Then there's a face right here, and then there's many other different faces. So when you put this in match and you pull this down, you can see the outline of the face throughout in here. Same area of the sideways lines up. I got it pretty much dead on, and if you take a look at this corner that's going to be in here, which is the corner of the mouth, lined up again, you're going to see this corner of this face here very, very hard light because it's almost off the screen. We pull it, and you can see there's a vague line in here. I don't know if the YouTube's going to pull it out for you. It's very difficult to see it in mine. Sometimes it pulls it out better. I'm not blaming YouTube. Don't get me wrong. It's just that my imaging changes between the correction of whatever programs it goes through. So when you put this up and you match the lady, you'll also see here's her nose. It flows up in here. I'll hold down. Here's the tip. There's the tip of her nose. Now I'm going to show you before we leave. This is the Dion painting. That's her face. I'm going to show you the main image of that, how it matches with this particular one right here. And it is, forgive me for being so slow, this happens when you're 60. And this is the image. And now that's the Dion. That's her face. That's in the painting. And this is the Mona Lisa turned. You had to turn her to get her lined up with this particular area. And this Mona and this Dion is the same. So let me see if I can get it in here together. Sorry. Okay, there's the two. Now, the painting on the left, for you to understand it, is a lost painting of Leonardo da Vinci's entire career is in this painting of a diary that he hid his codes. He hid it in many different ways. No matter which way I turn the Mona, you will find my painting in it. I don't know the proper words this time, what I could call it. But if I had to put something in it, I would call it what the world knows him to do, is to be the master code artist, hidden love of his works. And his paintings, the reason why they're overlaid in shadows is because they move everywhere. They're everywhere in his painting. That's why when you see one image, and then let's say Paris says, listen, is there anything that this guy's got that can be true? I wish they'd say that, because I'm going to tell you, if they sat down and watched it, because doing it in YouTube is a totally different way than what you can show in person, but in every depth and every distance of the shot, or how deep you go, you have a different picture. It's obvious. It's obvious if you look down the street and saw your house, and when you got closer, you saw how the trim was. That's what it is. And it's not like cut corners or round. It's cut corners and round and anything else in stars and octagons and pyramids and beehive. It's everything. And the reason why it's everything is because everything makes everything. So if you put 1 billion dots inside the head of a needle and you connect the dots to make the Mona, you made the Mona because you had so many dots. I'm just using that as a general. But if you only put 10 dots in the Mona, I mean in the head of the needle, and you tried to make it, you're limited. So if you do it even in layers, in each particular layers, let's say you put whatever minimum dots you can put in a poke of a needle. Let's say you can only put 50. Okay, and you did 20 layers, and each layer that you put, you pitched it 1/20th of each time. So now you got 20 times 20, which is 400, times 20, which is 8,000 in a dot. But it gets worse than that. Trust me. It gets into where that one dot, one pixel, one grain of sand, and that's huge size for Leo, you could have nearly, if I was to take a wild number, and I might be way lowballing it, 30,000 images into something you can't see. Could even be 2.5 million images if you get into it. Now here's something for you to understand. If you ended up with light and you shined it on your bedroom wall picture and you're only 5 feet away, you have that one sight that you see. But if you move the light on an angle, regardless forward or back, the picture's different. If you move an inch back or forward, the picture's different. That's called depth, field, shadow, light. Okay, so that means there's infinity in light unless God turns it off. So in that respect, I only give Leo, let's say 20 times for light for any painting, because technically any painting at any distance with light on it is infinity on the site. So if you end up with a painting that has that, and then you have a painting in one depth with 1,000,000 pixels on the first scheme, and then another 1,000,000 over the next scheme, and then you just keep going over and over and over again, you got 20 schemes, you got 20 million pixels over the top of each layer. Now don't forget there's 360 degrees in each turn. So now you just got 20 million times, this is low ball. You got 20 million times 360 degrees. But in each one dot, he would put 400 images on a circle. And he put 400 images inside the circle. Now you got 800 times 360, which is 2.5 million images. And now you got 20 million images in depth. Okay? That's it, and then you turn it out of 2.5 million turns, and what do you got? You got all into the trillions. You're way out there. Numbers, and this is way low ball. I wouldn't doubt that the Mona Lisa and my painting, when getting into the exam, it'd be into the multi-trillions of hidden images of codes of his great work between shadows, depth, light, numbers and words, and invisible chemistry, and in gems for rubies, sapphires, emeralds, pearls. His work is absolutely floored. I mean floored. I get too excited, and you got to forgive me on his work. But one day I'm going to get it across to where it'd be understandable, and but maybe not. Maybe nobody would understand unless you went through what I went through to know what an M is and what an O is and what a heart is. That's what's in his paintings and what they turn into when you look at the depths. Maybe I need some good image individuals and to hear me out and be like my secretary and walk me through each stage so I can make a magnificent YouTube and explain it in like algebra way or something. I want to get it out there. I want people to know this master. This master of masters of masters of masters. That's what this guy is the greatest of all great masters. Hidden code man. What they know that's in his diary is what he wanted them to know that's in his diary. Don't forget, he had a fear factor too. His fear factor was to get caught expressing his love. And that's why he went so small, to hide his work. Anyway, I want to end this with that God loves us all, and I want to say God bless the whole world, the universe, and the heavens, and may we all stay healthy, learn, and trust each other, stay safe, and financially supported. Please give me a thumbs up, and please subscribe, please. I really like this work. I hate to have to not do this. So, amen.